We didn't give you some fucking crazy marketing hack. We didn't give you some fucking sales script, right? We didn't give you some fucking life coaching bullshit. Like, we gave you guys a fucking operating system to improve you. You guys have made your first ascension out of your first pit. Then once we achieve something, what you just achieved is fantastic, but it's your new foundation. Pit to peak, we're gonna declare our next journey right now. What are the tangible differences that are showing up in your life today? What are you doing differently? How are you thinking differently? How are you moving differently? How are you behaving differently? So I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of go around and get everybody's kind of like final takeaway. And then I'm one that I want to share kind of at the end that I think summarizes everything pretty well. So Jesse, we'll start with you.
For sure. Massive takeaways. Just through everything, the amount of learning and just overall confidence and everything. Especially like for me, a big thing that I've talked about is the amount of confidence that I had in everything that I grew with the football program that I've coached. But transitioning all of that leadership and confidence, consistency, discipline with a business, these past 6 weeks have absolutely changed that. Everything is a lot more consistent with business and just having a really big foundation to just keep building on.
My main takeaway is it has given me a path, a system to operate under, and just a ton of confidence. And more importantly, probably than all of that, is the community. You know, I don't get to interact a ton during the day, but shoot, I mean, I really love like everybody that's in the little group.
I love that. That's great. And I agree. I mean, I think you taking the time to go see your daughter and, you know, understanding just really the benefits that will pay is really important, right? It temporarily might seem like it's a lot to do, but there's always going to be something that comes from that, and that's great. So, well done. Tony, what about you, brother?
Yep.
We're just kind of talking about biggest takeaways, right? Summary of the 6 weeks. Like, where do we feel like we're at right now?
So my biggest takeaway was that I was way more in my feelings than I thought, like, by far. Like, it took me almost the first 3 weeks just to get away from defaulting into some sort of I feel statement when I was trying to describe anything. And so getting away from that was a huge takeaway. And I think this is probably connected, but it's drastically shortened the time between that it takes me to act on something. So prime example was a certainty funnel. Like me 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, 2 months, whatever, would have spent days just talking myself out of it about how I couldn't afford it, and like dude on a Monday, like I would have been that dude on Monday night on the call. I would have been like I'm already in this much debt, which was true. I don't know how to get the money, which was true. Whereas now I was like, I don't have the money, but I'm gonna fucking find it. And I worked with Dustin and I found it and I bought a spot.
Now we're gonna crush, dude. That's amazing. I love that. I mean, I think. Obviously I've watched you for years. I agree. I think action is there. And so now it's like, that's one dimension, right? Which is like, we took action in investing in ourselves. And now it's like, we got to take that same action and we got to carry it over to all the dimensions. You know, I saw last night on the call, you're on the treadmill and you're getting your workout in, and like, dude, it's like, you're doing it. And I think it's really important that you hold that standard for yourself, because now the people around you are going to see it, you know? And it's not something you have to talk about. Right? It's something that you just live and people start to see. And I think that's the beautiful thing. So good shit, man. Josh, what about you, brother?
Sorry, I was changing a nappy.
You're good.
Yeah, so one of the main takeaways, like for me, is being honest, being myself, and actually carrying it forward in my family, with my business. More importantly, actually having the tools and the operating system, because I'm definitely barely scratching the surface, and I'll have the tendency to fall back into my previous pit, not even the current pit that I'm in. So having the operating system to deal with that, the tools, daily reflection, the daily win maps, those really helps me propel every single day. And then there's also this transparency, rooting from telling the truth, and basing it on the facts, at the same time, also knowing when it's time to take action, and knowing what's actually holding you back.
I love it, man. I love it. I've seen it come to fruition for you. That's fantastic. So here's what I want you guys to consider. And I'm gonna give you guys, Jaron, if you want to cue up a little bit of music. We're gonna give them about 2 minutes. I want you to consider, like, what are the tangible differences, right? Let's get out of the mindset for a moment and let's talk about tangibility. What are the tangible differences that are showing up in your life today? What are you doing differently? How are you thinking differently? How are you moving differently? How are you behaving differently? What actions are you taking that are different? Like, what are the facts of today that are different than the facts of 6 weeks ago? Non-emotionally. I want you guys to talk facts. What are the facts that have improved about your body? What are the facts that have changed around your personal development, connection to God? What are the facts that have changed inside the connection in your life? And what are the facts that have changed in your business? So let's start there. Let's write that down. Jaron, if you want to give them 2 minutes, that'll be great. And Jaron's going to give you guys a little music while we do this. So who wants to share, like, what's one major difference that you guys came about?
I'll hop on.
Good.
I think the biggest thing is having conversations daily, whether that's one conversation with somebody or the next day it's 5. But having that connection and conversations with people has been a big action step that's way different than just...
What do you think the catalyst was of getting that to shift? Because that's great. I mean, that's huge. What do you think the catalyst was there?
I mean, honestly, like I said, a lot of it comes down to just the football stuff I had. It was daily talking about football and coaching, but transitioning that now to my passion for fitness and helping people, coaching people, whether I would see something on someone's story and just giving off some thumbs up or, hey, I see you working hard. And eventually some of those conversations coming down to that person saying, hey, or thanks for the support and stuff that you're giving me. And that's turned into a couple clients as well. So those conversations have been awesome.
It's fantastic. I love it. Who else?
I'll do it.
Go for it.
So I would probably say the biggest thing that changed for me was I stopped running away from clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I kind of was in a spot where I could take clients, but I always found a reason not to, or not to do that thing. And so it was the real serious conversation of you're starting to, you're saying you want out, but you're turning the stuff away. So it was the shift of learning how to lean into, you're fine, you can take care of this, you're, now going to go do these things. And if all else fails, let's just line out the facts of it, adjust and go again. And that was kind of a, and then that's just the confidence that comes with, we're leaning towards clients versus running away from them.
I love that. And that just kind of comes down to the self-awareness piece of doing it. That's great. Sammy, were you about to say something?
So in my coaching, I built and launched my first small group program. I've got 4 clients in it.
That's
Before
amazing.
then, I was just kind of sitting on my ass thinking about it and not really taking action on it. But
Fuck yeah.
That's happening.
Let's go.
I've now led 2 webinars, including the one that I did jointly last night with Michelle. In that time, in the last 6 weeks, so that's been good.
That's amazing.
And personal. Okay, I am a Christian. I'm probably not the best Christian in the world, but I will say this: at least once a week now, when I go, I try to run maybe 3 times a week. Don't always do it, but at least one of those, I go completely naked, meaning as far as my technology. I don't wear earbuds. I don't wear my watch. I just use it to purely, reflect.
Yeah, unplugged. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. It's huge. So here's the kick in the dick that comes with today, right? Is when you guys look at this, congratulations. You guys have made your first ascension out of your first pit. You've found your first peak. And now you're right back in the pit. Because we live life pit to peak. Which means that once we achieve something, what you just achieved is fantastic, but it's your new foundation. There's no fucking going back. There's no going back. We're not going back to that bullshit, right? Now, here's what I want you to understand about this, is The reason we're not going back is you fundamentally changed. We didn't do anything different. We didn't give you some fucking crazy marketing hack. We didn't give you some fucking sales script, right? We didn't give you some fucking life coaching bullshit. Like, we gave you guys a fucking operating system to improve you. And each and every one of you, as you just shared this, you talked about self-improvement. Tony, you made the decision to work. You became a harder worker. You had more self-belief. Anthony, you made the decision to leave alcohol behind. You became the person that took action, right? Jesse, you became the person that literally was finally doing that work. You became a confident person. Jenna, you became a person that really understood the time in their life. Sammy, you fucking took charge of everything, right? Josh, you finally became a committed person. And these are fundamental traits that you shifted inside yourselves. And so now we've equipped ourselves with the ability to operate inside of this next pit. But as with all things in this game, we don't get out of a pit until we do what? Until we pause. Until we truly look around us and until we truly identify the pit. I'm going to give Jaron the go-ahead to give you guys 4 minutes on the clock with a little bit of music. And what I want you guys to begin defining now is, what are the facts, not the emotions, what are the facts of the current pit that we've found ourselves in? What does the next 6 to 8 weeks of our life hold? What is the next pit that we're going to be climbing out of? And most importantly, what is the next peak that we're going to achieve? Pit to peak, we're going to declare our next journey right now. Jaron, let's find out what we learned.
Yeah, I can start. So the pit that I'm in now essentially revolves around everything for the certainty funnel, which is now I have this, the next mountain place in front of me, which is developing everything that I need to so that I can complete and launch that funnel in the next few weeks. So next 6-ish weeks is going to be all about focusing on that, on getting those videos filmed so I can use those as ads, building out the webinar, launching that, feeding that into a challenge, and then crushing that too.
Let's talk about the full pit, right? Give me the full view. Let's not just worry about the business. Because obviously we understand business is driven by, there's a direct correlation between business and the other 3 dimensions. So give me the rest of the pit.
Rest of the pit. For body, I don't have a solid, a real clear focus other than just maintaining where I am right now. So I guess that would be, I don't know if that counts as like a pit to peak sort of thing for that.
Well, I think you always have to be playing a game of targets, right? So like the reality is like the commitment to the lifestyle is a gamified lifestyle. And so we're trying to get you to I mean, even if it's just achievement, there's something in the routine, right? There's something that we can commit to in the process that factually, because the reality is like maintenance is a myth. Maintenance is bullshit. And so, because if we fast forward 90 days, your life is completely transformed, you made $1 million. You're going to be like, yeah, man, I fucking maintained and shit was amazing, right? Like, subjectively, you're going to be like, dude, this was the greatest fucking thing in the world. But, like, if your life burns to hell, right, like, you have a blow-up relationship, like, you don't get any wrestling gigs, and then you're like, yeah, I didn't fucking maintain my body. Well, like, how do we know that? Like, what are the clear metrics around that? You see what I'm saying? And so I want you to be able to look 6 to 8 weeks from now and be like, yo, I made this commitment to do X, Y, Z. Now, maybe it's not to facilitate massive change, right? But I made the commitment to do X, Y, Z, and in 6 to 8 weeks, you either did or you didn't do it. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would like to look at it from that perspective. Is there, and maybe nothing comes to mind, maybe you need more time to think about it, that's totally fine. Anything inside the personal development side or connection side?
On the connection side, so we're in June now, so I'm in a fairly new relationship, and I haven't been going very, very deep into it just because I'm probably over focusing on business at the moment. And so like, it's clear to see that pattern because every time we talk about anything, I always lead with business. And I'm getting to a point where I'm like, well, maybe I should readjust how the level of balance I have with those two.
Pause. Why? Because you're supposed to? I'll tell you this. I have zero issue with you over-indexing on business. None. I have no judgment with you over-indexing on business. Mark Cuban used to talk about when he was on the come up, he would be dating, and if the girl ever said, like, I don't want you to work on a Friday night, I want us to go out, he'd be like, all right, dope, like, you're out. Like, that was his attitude. Well, that's fine. What he couldn't do is be unhappy that he lacked a fulfilling relationship. His relationship came from business. That's fine. What you can't do is say, like, I'm getting in this relationship, oh my god, she's a fucking bitch because she wants all this time and I'm not willing to give it. Well, no, you're not willing to give it. She deserves time, right? In relationships, people deserve time. And so you either have to make the decision, I'm going to have a very real conversation with her and say, listen, 90% of my focus is on the business. I'm totally cool with where this relationship's going if it can go slow. Or if you're looking for something that moves faster, I'm probably not emotionally available for that right now. Like, that's how we get through the pit. Is what? We look at the facts. We look at the truth. We tell the truth. But not having that very direct conversation is not telling the truth. I think for you, this aspect of your life just needs clarity. And I would challenge you to find that clarity and then have conversation around that clarity.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Dude, it'll bring you so much peace when you're working too. I said to Jamie, I'm like, listen, I told her, I'm like, you just need to get used to the fact that in the mornings, I'm probably going to seem emotionally distant. From the time we get out of bed until about 10 a.m., I'm gonna seem emotionally distant. That's the time when I crank the majority of my work. After that, you're the center of my attention. But I need those 4 or 5 hours to feel like I can be fucking hyper present in the team and making sure that they have what they need to win today. Because if they win today, our family wins today. It was like one of the very first things I told her. She's like, cool, got it. And I remember I found myself one time sitting in bed, like working, and I looked at her and I was like, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm neglecting you. She's like, you realize you told me on day one this was going to happen. She's like, I'm not upset. And I was like, cool. Tell the truth. Right? And so what you realize is that relationship has the ability to pull from business, not the other way around. Your guilt or anything like that around the relationship, things that you're trying to pour in that maybe you just don't value. Maybe you do, I don't know, right? But that is going to 100% pull away from business if it's not addressed. I'm going to also tell you, and I think all the guys here that are in committed relationships, like, the most powerful cheat code in business is having the right partner. Hands down the most powerful cheat code. It's also like having the wrong one is like the biggest weapon against your business. So if it's one where you're like, man, I value it, dope, dude, lean into it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thanks for the share.
I've got to learn balance with that and be a better wife, honestly. Let's see, what does that leave?
So what does that mean from how do we get out of that pit? Right? Because it's a very like relative statement. How do we get out of that pit?
I think I just have to be focused on doing it. Take every day. Talking with him is probably the first step.
What does he value? What does he value in the relationship?
It's a great question.
Have you
Maybe
asked?
I should ask him that, right?
Yeah. Because
no, I haven't.
We all have filters, like, and what we value may not be valued by other people, and so I think in the connection side, it's really important to understand what they value. You know, it might be as simple as a daily talk. You know, it might be as simple as a daily affirmation. It could be an act of service. You know, I think there's so many things that we overlook the simplicity of. You know, like in my life, like, right now, Jamie's in the process of moving to Virginia, and so when we're apart, like, the simplest things that excite me the most are good morning and good night texts. Like, that's it. I don't need much. I'm a pretty simple person. I just want to know I'm on your mind. And it's like, we had that conversation early. She never misses, and that's why it's great. And so
Yeah.
I think, but in the absence of that, now all of a sudden the mind starts to wander, and now all of a sudden it can really contribute negatively to things. And so I think it's, and if, let's be honest, you work from home. So if the home life is an issue, well, now you're working from a war zone, and that's not helpful.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important, that we address the tangibility of creating that change.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Yeah. He's pretty easy. I hate to use the word easy. It sounds like he's not worth much effort or something, but that's not how I mean that. He's pretty low maintenance. So you're right. Just a daily affirmation is going to go a long way, and I need to do that.
I love it. It sounds like that's the key that would unlock a lot of things for you. Sounds like that's the key that would give you the confidence to really aggressively pursue a lot of things, right? It sounds like for you the connection dimension is the dimension that will unlock everything.
Yes, you're right again. He's awesome. He's super encouraging and supportive through all this. So why am I not pouring into him? I need to do a better job, and I'm going to do that.
So I would challenge you to. I don't think that you're not pouring into him. I think you're not pouring into yourself. Pouring into him is just an extension of your own self-worth. And so there's a hold up with you and like the lack of belief that you have and what you're willing to do for you to be at that next level of life, right? And I don't know if it's a feeling of deserving things. I don't know exactly what it is. It's probably something for you to unpack in a reflection. But why don't you feel like you deserve that aspect of your life to be perfect so that it can then go in and feed the other aspects of your life? Like, that's a question for you to probably unpack in a reflection.
Yes, for sure.
So, great stuff.
Appreciate that.
You got it. So, guys, I know we're bumping up against time here, and I think Jared and I think we have a call right at 12. But I really, what I want to do is I want to thank you guys. Some of you guys were on the mindset call Tuesday. I had no intention of launching any sort of extension on this. Like, that was not my thing. And I think probably those of you guys that were here, I think you understood the value of what we did. You probably would have paid me, but I won't take another penny from you guys. I have no desire to take money from you for that. So we're going to do the calls Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's when those calls are going to be. So I'd like to invite all of you to those. And obviously, I think this has been a big part of hopefully the success that you guys are creating. Obviously, we heard a lot of wins, which was really, really cool to hear. None of which was, marketing or sales related. It was all just you. And so I think as long as you guys continue to show up the rest of the year on this, it's great. I will give you guys like spoiler alert. What we are going to do is this is going to become an annual membership, right? It's going to be $500 a year. It's like less than $50 a month, right? So you guys can make plans in January. You guys can pay me for 2026, but I won't take another penny this year. And it's something small. It's a project for me. I have this vision of these conversations light me up more than anything I do. Like, the business stuff is fun. The personal development stuff is way more fun. And so I want to do this for years to come. I have a vision of having 100, 200, 300 people on these calls where we are in and we are crushing it. And, when my business hat comes on, cool. Like, maybe I'll bring some of you guys that were like the first adopters and you'll become leaders in this community, and maybe it'll take on a whole thing of its own. I don't know. But right now I just want to fucking help people in the 4 dimensions of life. Jesse, tomorrow morning, man, 9 a.m. So we're gonna get it going. And we're everybody that bought in, the deadline is tonight at midnight. So my only ask is this, man. If this was impactful, a quick share in the secrets group would be great, just so that everybody knows that it was time well spent. Other than that, I'll make sure, Jaron, can we just make sure everybody here is added to that cohort so that they're getting the notifications about calls and obviously any of the recordings, just so we can take care of them. I want to thank you guys. You guys were the first ones to really go all in and really want to play the 4-dimensional game with us. I want to thank you guys for your belief in the life-changing transformation that could happen. we're watching it happen, and so it's really fun to see. So if there is anything that you guys need, you guys know we're a text away, we're a message away. We're here to support. We love you guys. I think it's absolutely commendable, the work that you guys have done on yourselves, and welcome back to the pit, man. Here we go again. And I think we get comfortable in the pit. We get comfortable there, and each time we get to a pit, we have slightly less fear because we're equipped with all the tools. Right? We look at the facts, we get clear on them, we use the tools, and we map it out and we go. So that's pretty much it. That's our time, and if there's anything that you guys need, let us know. Otherwise, I love you. I want you guys to win, and we'll see you soon. Have a good day, guys.